So, let me scroll up in chat. Yep, I'm aware you can change your free loadout pack. Yep. I have like 5 or 6 that I've traded in. The surveyor will run away, full of good loot. Nice. I don't believe that this needs a. I don't think that the game needs to be full PvE, and I say that as someone who hates PvP. I wouldn't mind PvE only events. I think that could be a cool addition to the game, which I think AFKMR was talking about. Like limited time bosses, that's a good idea. Multiple teams have to fight in PvE. I think a PvE like seasonal or PvE type event could be fun, but and I say this as someone who does not like PvP, I don't know that I would like this game as much as I do if it was only PvE. And I say that as someone who hates PvP. There is a certain adrenaline rush, and not only that, but it's like when you're playing solo, like this. Let me. I'm just gonna stop and talk for a minute. This will be a great thing to clip out on YouTube later on. So the reason I say that as someone who hates PvP, and I don't think this game needs to have a PvE only option, is because part of the charm of this game is helping other players. And when you're out there in that wilderness, you know, talking to other people and going, "Hey, do you need help with something?" Open your mic and go, "Hey, I'm friendly," or you could use the emotes that they have in game. Friendly, don't shoot. And 9 times out of 10, I would argue that in my case, from what I've seen, and I would argue that Co-Carnage would say the same, 9 times out of 10, all of these people who are playing this game solo, you're going to find that most people, if you're playing solo mode, are going to be friendly. 9 times out of 10. Now, you're occasionally going to get the dipshit like what you just saw happen right there, which I got killed on extraction. Out of all the solo runs, that's only the second time that that's happened to me on solo runs. Only the second time that I've had someone shoot me as I was hitting the button to extract. I have ran, I don't know, 30 or 40. Today's day 3 or day 4. I'm a few days in at this point, and I would say out of 30, 40 runs, I've only had 2 times where I've been like shot during solo mode. Now, during duos, it's been a little more frequent. What I have found on duos is that in the morning hours when there's not as many people on, it's less likely, but like in the afternoon sessions, and it also depends on the map that you're on too, like the starter zone, no one's really ever going to mess with you, whereas other zones are highly more likely. Anyway, I got to get back to what I was talking about. Part of the thrill of this game is the fact that when you go out into the environment, regardless of what map you're on, it's not only are you being threatened by the robots, you're also potentially being threatened by other players. And because this is a PvP VE, you can rest assured that for the most part, other people are more focused on the arc than they are on you. And the overall threat, like of the walkers or the bombardiers or armored hornets who come in packs of 3, or a Stitcher coming and calling something down, that threat is real enough that it kind of creates this need to work together. And there are sort of like varying levels that you can play at. If you just want to have the most casual environment, you can play in solo mode, and then it sort of ramps up from there. I don't want to play trios really ever, because I know that trios is a sweaty hot mess, and that's where all the like Nick Mercs and Tim the Tatman and Shroud and all those guys go play, because you know they like that environment of being sweaty, and a lot of the big streamers are treating the 3 versus 3 like they would Warzone or Apex Legends, where they're treating it like a battle royale as opposed to an extraction shooter. So I don't know. I don't think that they need to make this game PvE, but I do think it would benefit from a PvE event system, or some sort of PvE season could be fun. But and it's really interesting for me to say this because if for those of you who are long-term followers of my channel, I am a staunch anti-PvP person, and I don't think that I would like this game as much if it was PvE only. Like, if it was PvE only, why would I ever open up the mic and attempt to talk to another player? Or attempt to be like, hey, do you want to try to take down this mob? Do you ever, would you, you know, I would never do that. I would just figure it out on my own, and I would solo it like I do 99% of the other games that I play, because I mostly play single-player RPGs. So, I think they're in a very interesting place right now where they're still in the early phases of the game, and there's still more balancing that can be done. Let me scroll through chat here. Arc Raider says a hold on me. I'm enjoying it for sure. Flying Turtle says, I feel like most people have been friendly. Like I said, I would say that out of 30, 40 extractions, I've only had 2 where someone has tried to kill me after I've pushed a button, one of which just happened on the stream while we're sitting here. FTLTW asks, is this Fallout? It is Fallout. It absolutely is. This is Fallout Raiders. I have no idea what that means by I'm wearing the blue suit. Correct, it's the burnt peanut streamer war thing. You're right, that's... I don't have anything to do with that. I'm just here. Trickfor says, yeah, the PvP adds a tense, cool flavor, and I loathe PvP. I would love a PvE mode as well, but I do think it would take away from the magic of what this game is offering. Because I'll tell you what, I have no desire to go play Helldivers because it's PvE only. It's just kind of like, if I wanted to play a multiplayer, like, I've done that before. I went and played Anthem with my brother as an example. You know, I've played team-based shooters before, Destiny 2, Halo Infinite. Like, I've played lots of team-based shooters before, where it's you versus the world. That's, you know, I'm enjoying this because it's something unique and different. Graham asks, late to the game, belated question, how are you finding the game? I've got a review up on YouTube, Graham, called My Early Thoughts on Arc Raiders. What headset am I using? I don't know where the box is. It's a HyperX Cloud 2, I think is what it's called. Solo is very friendly. Second party is still pretty good once it's usually just 2 good friends playing. Correct. So I've played quite a bit with Ali, and I've played a little bit with Deeks. And I've had great experiences both times. I would say, like, if it's 90%, 80-90% friendly in solo modes, it's probably like 60-70% friendly in duos. You will occasionally find the 2 guys that are playing together just so they can be hunter seekers, and it kind of sucks when you find them, but it is what it is. Like, that's the risk you run. Correct. If you go in with the mentality that you're going to lose something to another raider, then you don't really lose anything. Well, and that's the other thing too. I will say that I mentioned this in my early thoughts video. One of the reasons that this game appeals to me, even though it has PvP in it, is because you still progress. Even if you get killed, and even if you like get taken out, you still get XP. You still get XP for looting items. You get XP for time in the world. You get progress towards your character, which ultimately is progress towards your skill tree. You still get progress, even if you don't necessarily extract with items. Like, you're still getting something that progresses your character forward. As an example, what did I just go in and did? I went in with a free loadout specifically because, what? I was working on a quest.
You've done it.
And someone said, Renfail, why are you extracting out with no loot? And it's like, because I didn't come here for loot. I came here to take photos of the collapsed highway, to go to the broken earth, to follow the trail of destruction through the broken earth, to investigate the unknown arc machines. I don't need to extract with loot because I'm going to get loot when I complete the quest. Plus, I got XP for time in the world, and I got XP for other things just by being in the world, shooting some mobs and stuff. So even though I got taken out, like, even if you do happen to be taken out, you still progress your character. And that's
Your
one of the
standard is
reasons why
down,
someone like
but
me
3
who
are true
traditionally
assaults.
doesn't like
And it's
PvP is
strict
still
entire
finding
forests.
this game intriguing and entertaining because I still walk away with something. And if you go in with the mentality that you're
That down
possibly going
machine.
to get taken out,
We weren't the ones who did that.
um, so like
We
when I
know
know
that
that
there
I
are
have to
stray
go
survivors
in
out
to
there,
get
but
a quest
this
item, I will take
goes
an
far
augment
beyond
that
a
has a
single
safe
person.
pocket or two, so that I can go in, grab the object that I need, and then immediately extract out. Like, I'm not there to try to get the most loot possible. I'm not there to try to stay on the map for 28 minutes and 36 seconds until the very last minute to like drain every last little bit of XP I can get from the map. That's not who I am. I'm here to explore the world, look at these pretty science fiction landscapes, feel the threat of the robots, get a quest objective or two, and then get out. Like, that's how I'm playing the game. And for me, it's working, and I'm having a great time. Downed machine, we weren't the ones who did that. We know that they are stray survivors of this. This goes beyond a single person, so I need to reach the barren clearing and find signs of who or what brought down the arc machines. Perfect example. This is another quest. So I'm going in to find information out about something. I'm going to go in free. I'm going to go into the free loadout. I'm not going to be worried about
See what
looting
you can
anything
find
because I'm
out
just
about
to go do
whoever
a
brought
quest.
down that deforesting
That
machine.
right there is part of what I love about this
You need
game.
to know whether they're friend or foe.
Is part of this game is you get these really cool quests, and a lot of other extraction shooters. Like, I think back in the day I tried DMZ with Warzone with Call of Duty. Right, there's no quests in that. It's just level up your guns and go in and shoot shit. Like, this actually has quests. So there is a sense of a story, which, as someone who primarily plays single player RPGs, I need a story to pull me forward. This game has a story that pulls me forward. At no point have I ever been given a quest to compete against another player. It's all been quests against the environment. The threat is robots and potentially other players. So you just have to deal with that. 1v1 Blinker says, this is the most casual argument I've ever heard, because I'm a casual player. Duh. Like, someone claims this is the XQC outfit, which signifies that I'm taking part in a faction war. What the fuck are you on about? This is the fucking default outfit that you get. Fuck out of here with that nonsense. I'm not participating in any faction war. How do I have it so you don't wear a helmet? There's a option to turn off the helmet. Yeah, duos are a little bit more hostile. Loot is never yours, you just borrow it. It's true. I know, Trigger for I have some really stupid trolls. If you're not camping elevators or even looting, y'all are a bunch of tards. That's what I'm going to say to that. But hey, we can't all be intelligent creatures of the planet. But yeah, I think as someone who primarily, stays away from PvP games, like I said, I wouldn't mind a PvE event, but I wouldn't want the magic of this game to get taken away. Someone said, hang on, I gotta find the comment up in chat. The original game was PvE, says Wardroid, but the devs said it became very samey on each raid, so they added the PvP versus E, and it ran better. I would agree with that. Like, all right, let's timestamp this because this will go out on YouTube later on.